Go ahead, I'm there, no. There's traffic in all directions. There's a truck stuck across the crossing. I think you... Stevens Road and Howard Street is the west
The way things are looking, I'm going to be on paperwork for a month. Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, I only said yes to everything because I can use the overtime. But if he puts me on the running sheets one more time... Hey, wait, what's that?
613 BKC. Looks like about a 14-ton of a tray. Some sort of cooking oil on the back. A couple of drums have rolled off.
Oh, my God. Who would do this? This is unbelievable.
Some sick bastard. It's like a battlefield. Ripped apart. Blood and flesh everywhere. It was like a shooting gallery.
Well, whose property was it?
The O'Grady place?
Yeah, we went up to his house, but he wasn't there.
Mike O'Grady couldn't have done this.
He's got an application to do at Cull.
These are from a high-powered combat weapon. There's no one I know in this town with an E-category licence, for one thing, and for another. No one in their right mind would use stuff like this to shoot kangaroos.
Brawl at the Imperial. Chris wants some assistance. It's that O'Grady guy.
Right, break it up!
You know what you are, don't you, Morgan?
I'm not some redneck dough for the brain of a dinosaur. Enough!
Two-faced prick, I know what you're trying to do.
Settle down or I'll have to take you in.
Keep him away from me, will you?
That's it. Get him out of here, will you? And you settle down.
Don't worry, Morgan, I haven't finished with you yet.
Yeah? What are you going to do about it, O'Grady? You going to shoot me? That'd be par for the course, wouldn't it? Once a killer, always a killer.
Come on, Tommy. You just got up my nose, that's all.
Well, when we got there, you were trying to beat the crap out of him.
Well, he asked for it. The bloody born-again greenie. Been in town 2 minutes. He's telling me how to run my property.
Was that what this is all about?
That's enough, isn't it? There's no reason to give me the 3rd degree, is there?
There was another matter.
Like what?
Like 50 or so dead kangaroos.
Come again?
On your property.
Not on my land.
On the east side of the house, by the ram paddock. There's guts all over the place.
When was this?
Well, we found them about 2 hours ago. And they weren't just dead. They'd been hacked to bits by some kind of assault rifle.
It's got nothing to do with me.
But you have been lobbying for a roo, Cull, haven't you?
Every farmer in the district wants one. I mean, I put in a permit, same as a dozen or so other guys, you know. I mean, they bred up last year. Now they're out of hand. There'll be no pasture left soon.
So maybe you just took things into your own hands.
Listen, Sonny, if I want to kill a roo, I will do it. But I'll do it right with my 222. Got it? Clean, simple and humane.
Are you sure you don't have something a little more powerful in your gun cupboard?
No, I bloody well don't. Search the property if you want. Go on. I don't know where you get these jokers nowadays. Don't know their ass from their elbow.
I'm letting him go.
Don't you think that's a mistake?
Well, clearly you do.
Well, it's obvious he did it. It's his land and he's got the motive.
It's not his style.
Well, the way he was acting at the pub, boss, I'd have to disagree.
There is no corroborating evidence, and I think I know him a bit better than you do.
Maybe we should just search his place anyway.
Listen, if Mike O'Grady is hiding illegal assault weapons at his house, why would he invite us out to search it? We'll wait and see what develops.
Boss, Chris on the phone for you.
3 people have been through this morning with reports about a whole pile of dead roos up at O'Grady's.
Yes, we're aware of it.
Bits everywhere, apparently, like some freak's been through with a machete.
Not a machete, some sort of automatic firearm.
Who could do something like that? Here you go. Anyway, it looks like I'm going to need a few cops in here tonight.
You usually get them, don't you?
I mean, officially. There's a meeting about the proposed cull at 7:30.
For or against?
Well, the against side's organised it, but I think there'll be a fair representation of both sides, especially when the news of all the dead roos gets out.
So this is what that fight between Mike and what's-his-name, a new school teacher, was all about?
I don't know. Jim called in to fix up the final details for tonight. Mike just started picking a fight with him. I mean, I didn't really get the drift of the argument. Mike had had a few.
Well, it's your pub, you are on the council, you could cancel a meeting.
Yeah, but I actually think it's a good idea to bring it out in the open, let everyone have their say.
As long as the police are there to pick up the pieces.
It's your job, isn't it?
If this is about what happened at lunchtime, and that was entirely Mike O'Grady's fault, I was just there to...
Organising tonight's meeting, yes, I know. I don't suppose there's any chance you could call it off.
Why would I?
Could get a bit heated.
Not an option, sorry.
Not even in the public interest.
That's what this is about, the public interest.
When we were leaving, you said something about O'Grady shooting him. That if he did, it would be par for the course. Once a killer, always a killer? What's that all about?
We served together. Same place.
Well, you were in Vietnam too.
He shot 2 Vietnamese villagers one night. 2 kids, girls, just blew them away.
You know that for a fact, do you?
I was there, we were on picket duty together. He opened up us on a whim. I saw it.
Well, if that's the case, there must have been an inquiry, surely. Did you tell them what you saw? Why not?
Well, I thought I was doing the right thing by him. Now, look, if that's all...
Yeah,
Torn apart, some of them. Makes you want to heave. Did you find out who did it?
I've been talking to Jim Morgan. He tells me that you're in the same platoon in Vietnam.
So?
He said there was an incident involving the 2 of you. On picket duty one time.
He's a troublemaker, Tom. Always has been.
I wouldn't mind hearing your version of events.
Whatever he said, the simple truth is we never got on. We're just a couple of grunts. I was made corporal over him, and it got worse.
So you expect me to put this down to clash of personalities, do you?
Yeah, you can put it down to what you like.
I suppose I'd be wasting my time if I asked you not to go to this meeting tonight. I just found this out at Mike O'Grady's place. Viet Cong used to use these.
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe Ben was right. We should give his place the once over.
You think it was him, do you?
Not necessarily, but it might put your mind at rest.
Listen, that could tear a hole right through you. I've seen mates cut almost in half by stuff like this. So has Mike O'Grady. I reckon he'd find it pretty difficult to use it, even on a mob of ruse. I know I couldn't do it.
So am I the only one who thinks the boss is a bit buddy-buddy with O'Grady?
Well, they're both Vietnam vets.
That explains it.
I think the boss knows what he's doing.
All right, this meeting at the pub tonight, I want everybody on deck just in case. Jones, you, Rayner, and I'll go in uniform. You two can come in civvies.
Are you expecting World War III?
It's not a joke. You saw O'Grady and Morgan at lunchtime. I don't want a repeat of that on a larger scale.
Well, why don't you just get the meeting cancelled?
Why don't you just get on with your work?
I didn't realise the kangaroo cull was such an issue.
Oh, yeah, they can do a hell of a lot of damage.
Oh, come on. Half the time it's just an excuse for the old boys to get their guns out.
Have a talk to a few crop farmers.
Their farming practices cause more problems than the ruse.
Actually, that's crap.
That's interesting. That's O'Grady's eggs. Don't know which side she'll be on.
I don't care as long as she doesn't cause any trouble. OK, I'm going to let out some ground rules before you get started. I'd like to try and keep it orderly.
It's fine by me. Why don't you guys go wait over here?
All right, everybody, if I could just have a bit of quiet, please.
Sam, turn off the music, will you?
Thank you. All right, you all know why we're here.
To stop a massacre!
Just shut up, all of you. All right, we are not going to have a shouting match. We're going to have a civilised discussion. Is that understood? Thank you.
OK, now what I suggest is that we have a representative from each side come forward and state their point of view, and then we'll throw it open to the floor for general and orderly comment. Agreed? Since it was Jim Morgan who actually organised this meeting, I'm going to invite Jim to speak first.
Now, look, I know it's a done thing around here to whinge and moan about the damage kangaroos do to your crops, but the plain fact is you'll never wipe them out.
We can give it a try.
Settle down.
Now, look, the thing is, they're adapted to this climate and this land, and the bottom line is they do far less damage to the environment than your stock and your superphosphate and your
Crap,
wheat and your
Morgan.
canola does. Now, you bellyache about the kangaroos breeding up in the good seasons and eating out your pastures, but if you just left the kangaroos alone, their populations would control themselves.
Kangaroos breed up because there's feed. If you're a crop farmer, you've got feed laid on. How do you stop them eating it? Tell us that, Morgan.
With effective fencing, but you want a government handout for that, don't you?
50-foot fences wouldn't stop roos.
Admit it. You're none of you prepared to do anything, are you? The old ways are the good ways. That's it, isn't it? And never mind what happens to the environment.
What about productivity? What about making a living?
Yeah, come and pay my mortgage.
Hey, I want to say something. We need to talk about a program that'll satisfy everyone.
You'll never satisfy the greenies, Lynn. Get real.
Can I finish?
We can work something out.
We need a sustainable culling program, a proper compromise.
Compromise with murderers?
Your missus is making more sense than you, Morgan.
Trouble is, people like you find it easier to open up with automatic weapons. Easier and more enjoyable.
You're a bloody liar. You don't know what you're talking about.
I got shoved sideways up against the bar. It's going to be purple by the end of the day. Don't you get any damage? I don't think so. Seemed all right.
So you two actually talking or not?
Yeah.
But you should talk to him, clear the air.
I don't want to, and I don't think he does either. We're okay, really.
It's not how it looks.
I don't care how it looks, Joe. If he wants to talk to me, he can talk to me. He's a big boy.
You reckon?
It was a joke.
Well, at least they didn't wreck the place.
No thanks to the boss.
You think you're being a little too hard on him?
Oh, it was the farmers last night. They were really riled up.
Morgan shouldn't have been so aggressive, and he shouldn't have got personal.
They were all up for it from the word go. Should have been nipped in the bud.
What, how?
Well, banning O'Grady would have been a good start. Well, why wasn't he?
Little thing called democracy, Jonesy. I mean, the boss did try to persuade him.
Yeah, right.
This isn't necessarily in, really.
No, you can't just ignore it.
What's all this?
Go on, tell him.
I really don't think this is a
He tried to strangle her. Look, he did that.
I take it we're talking about Mr. Morgan. Come on through. Take a seat. Harry.
He was angry. I spoke out against him at the meeting. Jim says you stand by people. You have to. And family.
Yeah, well, he's not standing by someone to knock them round.
I tried to explain to him. I was just trying to, I don't know, take the heat out of the situation.
This was when you got home.
He'd have killed her if she hadn't got away and come running down to my place.
He wouldn't. He would have stopped himself. I know him.
Do you want him charged, Mrs. Morgan? You have a good case.
I don't know.
You can't let him get away with it.
Constable, could you make the ladies a cup of tea, please?
You should at least consider taking out an intervention order.
It'd make him keep his distance and make him think about what he's done. It's a good idea, Mrs. Morgan.
I'm not sure.
Where's my wife?
Well, you can't get it.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Just sit down. Sit over there, Mr. Morgan. You need to calm down.
Just get my wife.
Or what? Are you threatening me?
All right, that's enough.
Where's Annette?
I'm here, Jim.
Well, what the hell's going on? Running out last night, coming down here, I've only just found out where you were.
Well, I would have thought that was pretty obvious.
Your wife is here, Mr. Morgan, because you assaulted her.
What do you mean? We had a disagreement.
And the bruises on her neck?
That was an accident.
Annette.
I don't want to take this any further, so I shouldn't have come. Come on, let's go home.
You do realise, don't you, that you scared that woman out of making a complaint?
She wasn't scared of me. She was scared of him.
You always go one step too far, don't you?
Somebody's got to stand up to blokes like that.
Meaning?
It's all getting out of hand, boss. With these ex-army crazies going around, beating up their families and fighting their own private wars.
I'm ex-army, Joe.
Then you've got to see what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure that I do.
I saw what those bullets did to those kangaroos. They were the standard rounds used by the Viet Cong. They were a Russian 7.62 too.
I don't need an ordnance lesson, Joe.
We got some crazy person out there shooting kangaroos with those bullets. Now, do we want that to start happening to people?
I think you've said enough, don't you?
All I'm saying is something needs to be done.
Don't push your luck, Constable. That is your last warning.
Yes, boss.
Get on with your work. Mike O'Grady is the most obvious suspect, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's his property. Maybe I have been too soft on him.
Well, you said it wasn't in his nature, though.
No. But Jim Morgan told me something about Mike when the pair of them were in Vietnam. At the time of the gun amnesty, do you remember whether he handed in any weapons or not?
Well, I can check the books, but I'm pretty certain he just handed in a couple of old shotties. It's not surprising. I mean, most blokes just hand in the rubbish, get the good stuff for themselves.
Ah, guns they souvenired from the army.
Is that what Morgan said O'Grady did?
No. But there's somebody out there with an automatic assault rifle. I just want to make sure.
Well, look, he invited us in. He's got nothing to hide. Now, you said so yourself.
It could just mean he's hiding them off the property. Ask his ex-wife.
Did Mike bring anything back with him from the war?
A few badges and things.
Things? Any weapons? You know the kind of thing we're talking about.
A lot of people did.
Ah, so he did.
Yeah, all right. He did have a few guns hanging around, but they gave me the heebie-jeebies. So I told him to get rid of them.
What sort of guns?
I'm not a gun expert.
Can you describe them?
I don't know. Army guns.
And he got rid of them?
I assumed he handed them in during the gun amnesty.
All right, Mike, we know you brought the guns back from Vietnam. We know you didn't hand them in, so where are they?
They're safe.
In your opinion?
Just answer the question. Safe or not, you're in breach of the law even having them.
Okay, they're hidden. And I know what you're going to say next, but I didn't use any of them on the roofs. I didn't do that.
Well, someone did, and I reckon it was with one of those weapons.
What sort of guns were in there?
It was heavy stuff. SLR, AK-47, one submachine gun.
Oh, you idiot.
There was no way anyone's going to find them.
Who else knew they were there?
There was a group of us. We just didn't want them destroyed. We'd hung on to them for so bloody long, it didn't seem fair. They're all good blokes, Tom. We didn't see the harm in it.
Right, I want a list of all their names, but first you're going to show us where those guns are hidden. Come on.
You call this well hidden?
Someone's been here.
You don't say.
So what's missing?
My AK-47.
What else?
Give me a break, they weren't on mine.
What about ammunition?
It was in an oiled cloth. Loose stuff, I don't know, about 50 magazines.
What, buried right alongside the weapons? What sort of idiot are you? Which of your mates do you think might have done this?
I don't know.
Unless it wasn't one of your mates.
Do you think I'd be stupid enough to bring you here if it was me? Or leave it uncovered like that?
Someone who's stupid enough to hang on to the weapons in the first place? And bury it right next to the bloody ammo? I think you're capable of anything.
Are you telling me that all those roofs were shot up with an AK-47? These guys are nuts.
I want you to interview all the people on this list.
And charged?
Let's just concentrate on seeing if any of them are responsible for the missing guns first.
Well, I still don't get why they'd want to hide him in the first place.
Sentiment?
Or money. They've got the potential to be valuable if you hang on to them long enough.
And there's always a black market.
O'Grady might be stupid, but he's not involved with crims.
Okay, not crims. But these guys are still dangerous, boss.
All right, Jones. I'll admit that your suspicions about him might have some foundation for the moment, but before you break your arm patting yourself on the back, I still think there's more to it than meets the eye.
So, what did you say?
I've changed my mind. I want to take out an intervention order. I think Jim wants to kill me.
Come on.
Thanks for the call. We'll get someone down this.
Maybe it's all a mistake. I want it to be.
Has your husband tried to attack you again?
No. But this morning, after he'd gone to school, I went out to do some work in the garden. There was a gun in the back seat of the car, a rifle. And Jim hates guns. So what's it doing there? Back seat.
What?
It's an AK-47.
I have no idea how that gun got into my car.
You're saying that someone put it there?
Must have done.
The car was locked. No sign of a break-in. You had the keys.
I've told you my attitude towards guns. You can ask anybody who knows me. You'd have to be crazy to think I'd have anything to do with a weapon like that.
Unless maybe you were driven to an act of desperation.
Like killing Annette. You're insane.
Mr. Morgan.
Your wife is afraid of you.
You've misunderstood. I would not harm my wife.
You tried to strangle her.
It was an accident. I just got...
What? Carried away? Exactly.
She knows I didn't mean it.
Come on, she had bruises all around her throat, Mr. Morgan.
Why would I want to kill my wife? It doesn't make any sense.
Just tell us where the gun came from.
I don't know. I have told you I don't know.
Well, we're pretty certain that the kangaroos at Mike O'Grady's were killed with an AK-47.
So now I'm to blame for that as well. Listen, I'm the guy who has been trying to tell people that the kangaroos are not the enemy. I'm trying to save them. And what possible motive could I have for slaughtering them?
To draw attention to the situation. To gain publicity.
Bit extreme.
Well, the end justifies the means.
No, look, I don't buy that. He's been set up.
Okay. Well, was he the only one with keys to his car?
He wouldn't be so stupid to leave the gun on the back seat.
When people get worked up, they do all sorts of silly things.
I still think someone else is involved.
Like who? His wife?
Well, it's a possibility we shouldn't overlook, although she did seem genuinely scared and confused to me. Something I want to talk to Mike O'Grady about.
Need me to come with you, boss?
I need you to check the rest of those gun owners. I want a full inventory of what was in that cache.
Look, we're getting nowhere with this. What we've got is two crazy old war vets, both as bad as each other.
And?
You must wipe my company.
You know why I'm here.
Checked everyone out.
It's being done.
And?
Well, so far they all deny taking the guns.
So it's back to me, right? Process of elimination.
But to be honest, I don't know what to think anymore. I found the AK-47, by the way.
Where?
In the back of Jim Morgan's car.
What?
He says he doesn't know how it got there. Do you?
How would I bloody know how it got there?
Look, Mike, you're in real trouble, whatever happens, for having those guns. I won't deny that. There's more to it than that, isn't there? This goes all the way back to Vietnam. I want the whole story.
Drink?
Just the story.
Okay. He told you about the girls who died and were guarding the perimeter fence, right?
Yeah.
He told you I shot him, right? Did he tell you how it happened?
Not the detail.
He was on perimeter patrol. We saw them moving up along the fence. Couldn't see they were girls. It was too dark. They were just figures. Crouched down near the base. The way they could penetrate the wire. You knew how quick they were. I ordered him to wait and see. That's what I did. But he just let rip.
So you're saying he killed the girls, not you?
And it was deliberate. Morgan was the marksman. He may hate guns now, but he knew how to use them.
Did you say all this at the inquiry? So you just took the blame for him?
There was no official blame. The outcome of the inquiry said no personnel were reported in relation to the matter.
So why did you fall out with him?
He lost it, Tom. Broke down. In and out of hospitals for months afterwards. He kind of twisted it in his head till he believed the version he tells now. None of us were really keeping it together out there, were we? We all lost a few marbles somewhere along the way.
We've checked out all those gun owners, boss.
Don't tell me no one admits to reopening the cache.
Afraid not, but we do know what went missing along with that AK-47.
An M16. And there's no sign of the box of ammo or magazines.
So someone is still out there with a whole lot of firepower.
All right, we'll go back and visit the Morgan house again.
I thought you said it wasn't him.
I'm not taking any chances.
But how would Morgan know about the weapons?
Oh, probably from some vet around town. You know what these old blokes are like.
Isn't it counterproductive to his cause? I mean, where's his motive?
Grudge against O'Grady?
Who knows? The important thing is finding the M16. Hello, Eddie. Is your father in?
Why?
We need to talk to him.
What about?
Is he in or not?
I think he's working late at school.
What about your mother?
She's out as well.
You done something to your lip?
Bumped into a door?
We'd like to take a look around the house.
What for?
To see if there are any more guns lying around.
There aren't any more guns here. That'd go mental.
We'd like to see for ourselves.
Don't you need some kind of a warrant or something?
Thank you.
There's nothing here. Dad wouldn't keep a gun anywhere.
Who uses the metal detector?
Dad uses it on cleanups.
I don't follow.
In the bush. Stuff that gets dumped. Beer cans, rabbit traps, fuel drums. Junk, you know. Dad reckons if he ever found out who did it, he'd shoot them.
Shoot them?
It's just a saying.
Yeah, of course it is.
You had no right to search my house.
Oh, we had a warrant, Mr. Morgan, and your son was there.
With a split lip.
What's that supposed to mean?
Interested in is your metal detector.
What about it?
Well, apparently you use it to find rubbish that's been dumped in the bush.
I do.
It'd also be very useful seeking out a cache of hidden weapons, I imagine.
Especially if someone had dropped a hint about where to look.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I'm trying to help out the environment. I get met with these ridiculous accusations.
What about Eddie? Does he use it?
Sure, look, he found a couple of old coins with it last year. I don't know, he uses it more than I do these days.
Are you trying to shift the blame onto your son?
Look, I'm not doing the blaming round here. I'm just giving you the facts. Now, you're holding me without any evidence. I know my rights. You either charge me or you let me go.
Well, he's got a point. I mean, there's no actual evidence against him.
What about knocking your son about?
Well, it doesn't prove anything.
It proves he's a bastard.
True. But it's also a good motive for Eddie getting back at his father.
Sorry?
Well, look, he's out there fossicking around with his metal detector, stumbles across this cache of guns. Christmas time. Perfect way to get back at his old man for a split lip. Slaughtering the ruse.
But the split lip happened after the Rue massacre.
Who knows how many times this kid's been thumped over the years. And remember, this man tried to strangle his wife last night over a trivial disagreement.
So the boy goes off, shoots the ruse, puts the gun on the back seat of the car to incriminate the father.
But the car was locked.
Well, there you go. There has to be a spare key.
Oh, we should bring the boy and at least have a chat with him.
Jones, you and Parrish get over there now.
Hello, Mrs. Morgan. Is Eddie in?
Look, will someone please tell me what's going on? Why are you still holding Jim down at the station?
He's just helping us with our inquiries.
Could we see Eddie, please?
Well, not till you tell me what's going on.
Do you know where your son was yesterday morning when the Roos were killed out at the O'Grady's?
At school.
We really do need to see him.
Eddie, it's the police. We need to talk to you.
Lovely.
Backpack and sleeping bag missing too. I don't think he intends on coming back.
Then we'd better find him quickly.
Yeah, well, especially if he's got that M16 with him.
PJ, get on the special operations, bring him up to speed. Bring Mrs. Morgan in. Do you have any idea where he might have gone, Mrs. Morgan?
Did you know where he used to go fossicking? Did he tell you?
He keeps to himself. That's what he's like. It's my fault. I should have seen what was happening, the way Jim dominated him.
Annette!
He's killed all those kangaroos. Eddie's out there, and it's your fault. I should have stood up to you.
Stood up to me? It was you. You were the problem.
Enough, Mr. Morgan.
It was you two against me the whole time.
You listen to me. If anyone is responsible for your son's behaviour, that person is you.
Ridiculous. If Annette hadn't been so weak...
It's not your wife. Can't you get that through your head? Look at yourself. The threats, the violence.
We've been through all this, Senior Sergeant. Annette had an accident. She said so herself.
Only to keep your family together.
I'm the one who does that. I do that.
How do you do that? By brutalising your wife and beating up your son? How many years has that been going on?
Boys need discipline, Senior Sergeant.
There is a big difference between discipline and violence.
We all need to keep it together. We need strategies to help us keep together. That's the one good thing I came back from Vietnam with.
Why do you think he slaughtered all those Roos? Why do you think he's out there now with an automatic weapon? I pity you, you know that. He must hate your guts.
He doesn't hate me.
You're the one who pushed him over the edge. And if you don't recognise and acknowledge that, your son is going to be lost to you forever.
Boss, Mike O'Grady on the phone. Someone's firing an automatic rifle up on his place.
Soggy's on them, mate.
They are.
You don't know it's Eddie out there. You don't know for sure.
No, we don't, Mrs. Morgan. We can't take any chances.
If it's my boy, I want to know. I want to help.
Don't you think you've done enough?
I could talk to him. I don't want you to shoot him. I don't want to lose him. Give me a chance, will you?
All right, let's go.
Morgan's kid. Down near the creek.
What was he shooting at?
Nothing in particular as far as I could see. He was just wandering around letting off a few shots in the air.
Did you approach him?
Saw me and took off.
All right, Rayner, get onto the station, see what's happening with SOG. Jones, notify the hospital just in case. PJ, you can come with me.
Boss.
Morgan, come back! All right, I'll go after him. Mike, get a vest on. You can come with me. You know the area. Come on, you've got your orders. Let's go.
Where do they think they are? You know his bloody dad. Can you see him?
Oh, they're at the base of the hill.
Right, let's keep moving, but spread out.
He won't fire on us.
I wouldn't be too sure. You go in the middle. Mike and I'll take the flank.
What are they doing?
They're moving out like soldiers.
There he is. Eddie? Stop this, son. Can we talk about it?
Leave me alone.
Son, this is stupid.
I said leave me alone.
Eddie, your father's right. This is stupid. That's all it is so far. So why don't you just get rid of the rifle and come and talk about it?
Bloody hell.
ETA on the Soggy's 30 minutes.
What's happening? Just tell him to get a move on, Joe. 308 out.
Someone should go after him.
No, we wait for the soggies.
Well, it could be too late by then. They're 3 old blokes and that kid's got him pinned. Look, unless someone's going to give me a direct order, I'm going.
Eddie! 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 I just need to talk to you. Come on, Eddie, I just want to talk, that's all. What is it you want, son?
Tell you what I want. I want my father out here where I can see him, right in front of me, now! Police! Put the gun down!
Jones, no!
Try that again and you're dead! Put your hands on your head.
Jonesy, do it.
Just put your hands on your head!
All right!
Shut up! Don't talk. I don't want to hear
Eddie,
you.
listen.
No, I'm not listening. I'm sick of listening. You listen to me. I want my father here now, or I'm gonna shoot this guy!
Let the constable go, son. If you want me, Eddie, I'm over here.
No, Eddie, listen. Please, listen to me. What good is this going to do?
I don't care. I hate him.
If you shoot him, well, then what?
He'll be gone. That's all I care about.
And your whole life will be wrecked. Your mother's whole life will be wrecked. Is that worth it? If you kill him, you destroy so much more than just him.
He's a bastard, and he always was.
Eddie, listen. When he was shipped off to war, he wasn't much older than you are. None of us were. We're fighting an invisible enemy. We were scared all the time, like you are now. Seeing your mates, not just your mates, but women, kids, people you didn't even know, blown apart, head, arms, legs blown off. To survive that, you had to become really hard. And when we came back, a lot of us were never the same again. It's no excuse. I'm not trying to say it is. But everyone deserves a second chance. Eddie, come on. Give me the gun.
Hey.
What's going to happen to Eddie now?
He'll be assessed to see whether he's fit enough to be interviewed.
You mean psychologically?
Yeah.
And then?
Well, that depends on whether he needs treatment or not.
When can I take him home?
I can't say, but I'm pretty sure he'll be released on summons.
I hated his eyes up there. He wanted to kill me. He really wanted to kill me. I'm so sorry, Annette.
Are you? We'll talk about it later, maybe.
So, Jonesy, when are you joining the RSL? Now that you've been under fire, I reckon you'll be up for it, eh?
Hmm?
Coming for a drink, Tom?
I think I'll give it a miss tonight.
Come on. If anyone deserves a drink, it's got to be you.
Yeah, well. So it seems that us old dinosaurs still do have something to contribute. Ironic, isn't it? The way that bloody war still reverberates, even after 30 years.
You've got nothing to be ashamed of.
Difficult to know, really. Oh, by the way, I checked out the official account of what happened that night. Apparently, it was eventually established that the two girls Morgan shot were definitely Viet Cong. Forward Scouts. 13-year-old girls. Viet Cong, nevertheless.
So he was justified in shooting them, eh?
Correct, perhaps. Justified. A whole different question, isn't it?
To the boss. I reckon you would have been very impressive in your army days.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about the enemy, but if I'd seen you coming, I think I would have scooted back to Hanoi like a scaredy little rabbit.
So sorry, boss.
Nothing to be sorry about.
I thought I was gonna die. The first time in my life, this is it.
There's nothing to feel guilty about either.
That's what it was like for you guys, wasn't it? Expecting a bullet in your skull all the time. I mean, how did you live with that?
Some didn't. But time eventually wipes away the bad memories. Listen, Evan. Anytime you need to talk, my door's always open, okay?
Go ahead, crossing. I'm there now. There's traffic in all directions. There's a truck stuck across the crossing. I think you... Stevens Road and Howard Street is the west
The way things are looking, I'm going to be on paperwork for a month. Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, I only said yes to everything because I can use the overtime. But if he puts me on the running sheets one more time... Hey, wait, what's that?
613 BKC. Looks like about a 14-ton of a tray. Some sort of cooking oil on the back. A couple of drums have rolled off.
Oh my God. Who would do this? This is unbelievable.
Some sick bastard. It's like a battlefield. Ripped apart. Blood and flesh everywhere. It was like a shooting gallery.
Well, whose property was it?
Yeah, Grady place?
Yeah, we went up to his house, but he wasn't there.
Mike O'Grady couldn't have done this.
He's got an application to do at Cull.
These are from a high-powered combat weapon. There's no one I know in this town with an E-category licence, for one thing, and for another, no one in their right mind would use stuff like this to shoot kangaroos.
Brawl at the Imperial. Chris wants some assistance. It's that O'Grady guy.
Right, break it up!
You know what you are, don't you, Morgan?
I'm not some redneck dough for the brain of a dinosaur.
Enough! Two-faced prick, I know what you're trying to
Right,
do.
settle down or I'll have to take you in.
Keep him away from me, will you?
That's it. Get him out of here, will you? And you settle down.
Don't worry, Morgan, I haven't finished with you yet.
Yeah? What are you going to do about it, O'Grady? You going to shoot me? That'd be par for the course, wouldn't it? Once a killer, always a killer.
Come on, Tommy. You just got up my nose, that's all.
Well, when we got there, you were trying to beat the crap out of him.
Well, he asked for it. The bloody born-again greenie. Been in town 2 minutes. He's telling me how to run my property.
Was that what this is all about?
That's enough, isn't it? There's no reason to give me the 3rd degree, is there?
There was another matter.
Like what?
Like 50 or so dead kangaroos.
Come again?
On your property.
Not on my land.
On the east side of the house, by the ram paddock. There's guts all over the place.
When was this?
Well, we found them about 2 hours ago. And they weren't just dead. They'd been hacked to bits by some kind of assault rifle.
It's got nothing to do with me.
But you have been lobbying for a roo, Cull, haven't you?
Every farmer in the district wants one. I mean, I put in a permit, same as a dozen or so other guys, you know. I mean, they bred up last year. Now they're out of hand. There'll be no pasture left soon.
So maybe you just took things into your own hands.
Listen, Sonny, if I want to kill a roo, I will do it. But I'll do it right with my 222. Got it? Clean, simple and humane.
Are you sure you don't have something a little more powerful in your gun cupboard?
No, I bloody well don't. Search the property if you want. Go on. I don't know where you get these jokers nowadays. Don't know their ass from their elbow.
I'm letting him go.
Don't you think that's a mistake?
Well, clearly you do.
Well, it's obvious he did it. It's his land and he's got the motive.
It's not his style.
Well, the way he was acting at the pub, boss, I'd have to disagree.
There is no corroborating evidence, and I think I know him a bit better than you do.
Maybe we should just search his place anyway.
Listen, if Mike O'Grady is hiding illegal assault weapons at his house, why would he invite us out to search it? We'll wait and see what develops.
Boss, Chris on the phone for you.
3 people have been through this morning with reports about a whole pile of dead roos up at O'Grady's.
Yes, we're aware of it.
Bits everywhere, apparently, like some freak's been through with a machete.
Not a machete, some sort of automatic firearm.
Who could do something like that? Here you go.